Hello everyone, thank you for watching this presentation. I'm Yu Yang from the University of Liverpool. The title of this presentation is Computational Generation of Hutong Neighborhood Maps, a shape grammar for procedural modeling to represent the historical Beijing urban structure. First, I would like to introduce what is Hutong neighborhood. The urban area of historical Beijing was divided into four-sided sectors as residential neighborhoods under the constraint of a grid system during the Qing dynasty. These neighborhoods was reformed due to population increase, after which they were composed of variants of a vernacular Duvin type called Siheyuan. In Chinese, alley is called Hutong, since these Siheyuan neighborhoods usually extended in between the two alleys. They were called Hutong neighborhoods. These are rectangular in plan. Their basic units are Siheyuan. A typical Siheyuan consists of a set of aligned courtyards, symmetrically surrounded by individual buildings connected by corridors, walls, and gates. Second, I would introduce the problem of the Hutong neighborhoods and Siheyuan. As a courier of traditional Chinese architectural culture, both Hutong neighborhoods and Siheyuan have interested historians. However, despite their cultural significance after 1950, vast areas of traditional Beijing Hutong neighborhoods were cleared to give way for the modern construction. Meanwhile, due to the inefficient historical literature and the linguistic difficulty in understanding them, it's difficult for architects and urban planners and students to learn the original design knowledge from the historical literature directly. Based on this situation, when came up, our research aim is to investigate the design rules underlying historical Hutong neighborhood design in order to translate them into an algorithmic tool to generate variations of traditional Beijing Hutong neighborhoods. When proposed two research questions, first, how could the Hutong neighborhood generation and development history be translated into a shape grammar to simulate its procedural modeling? Second, how could such a shape grammar be implemented as an interactive algorithmic tool in a computational environment to generate Hutong neighborhoods variants replicating their original morphological characteristics? The derivation of the rules comes from observation of precedents recorded on a historical map called the Qianlong Capital Map and supplemented by study on historical literature. This map recorded the urban plan of Beijing around 1950, including all the Hutong neighborhoods and Siheyuan they contained. This map is also used for derivation. The research methods. The method includes three stages. The first is to generate the representation models. Data of Hutong neighborhoods are derived from the Qianlong capital map. It's believed that this map offers an accurate representation of each Siheyuan plot in the top view and each Siheyuan building in elevation view. We created an algorithmic tool to generate the 3D models of these buildings, which is reported in our another paper. Using this tool, we transformed some precedents on the map into 3D models in Rhino. The stage 2 is the development of an analytical computational models encoded into a shape grammar. This stage includes three steps. First is the corpus analysis. Second is the inference of rules. Third is verifying the grammar. Stage 3 is to develop an algorithm by Grasshopper scripting to implement the shape grammar. This current paper is focusing on the stage 2. The next is the experiment of our grammar. Focusing on the plan view, the grammar is defined in the product of algebras. VO multiplying V1, multiplying V2, and multiplying V3. VO indicates labeled dots to represent the central points of a row plan, and the midpoint of an edge of a room plan or a courtyard plan. V1 indicates labeled line segments to represent the edges of Hutong neighborhood's rear, Siheyuan plot edges and courtyard edges. VO indicates labeled plan segments to represent the plan of Siheyuan rooms and gates. V3 indicates labeled color to represent the type of Siheyuan rooms and gates. Rest is the generation of the grammar. First is to generate the Hutong neighborhoods and divide the plan of the neighborhoods into Siheyuan plots. The second step is to divide the plots into subplots. It's noted some subplots may combine to become new subplot types. And also some subplots may disaggregate and recombine to become new subplots types. After the generation of subplots, subplots could be defined by a courtyard, or a subplot is divided into several courtyards. The division is according to the subplot type. It's noted that in some courtyards, the courtyard edges may move. After generating courtyards, the room plan could be generated and moved. The location and the type of rooms of each courtyard is dependent on the courtyard type. According to the site context, the location of the entry gate could be defined, and the generation of walls are determined by the location of the courtyard edges. The right side picture demonstrates the procedures of generating two Hutong neighborhoods using the proposed grammar. 6. Verification. Using this grammar, when successfully generated some Hutong neighborhoods shown on the Shandong capital map, but not involved in the observation when formulating the grammar. There are several points could be drawn in the conclusion. First, this grammar revealed the mathematical consideration embedded in the generation of Siheyuan neighborhoods. Is noted that urban context, iteration pattern of plots, and the courtyard and room prototypes are contextual forces shaping the Siheyuan neighborhood forms. Second, encoding the implicit rules caused by these forces into this grammar explains how the development of Siheyuan neighborhoods involved morphological variants. Third, as an application, our Hutong neighborhoods grammar could be employed to design Siheyuan doing neighborhoods in the traditional style based on the presented procedures. Limitation includes 2 points. First, the grammar only generates plans, but the 3D models could be generated based on the algorithm from our previous research. Second, the corpus only includes representative Hutong neighborhoods. However, Hutong neighborhoods and Siheyuan housings include a large number of variants. There are 2 jobs could be done in the future. First, to test the grammar when we'll mix up new neighborhoods and historical Hutong neighborhoods recorded on the map, then to make a questionnaire to ask architects and students who are familiar with Hutong neighborhoods to say if they can distinguish them. Second, when we'll produce a parametric shape grammar plugin in Grasshopper aiming to support Hutong neighborhood design and its design knowledge education. This is our presentation. Thank you for listening.